Okay, good evening, and should I probably say good morning actually? I'm recording this very, very late. It's just gone past midnight here. It's 1 a.m. I was busy doing something else, of course. It's quite interesting actually because I give my daughter some work to do, and I decided to spend some time marking it. And you know, it's actually taken me some time, but I thought, do you know what? I want to get consistent with this thing. I do enjoy the process. I know I was doing a lot of talking yesterday, but kind of got carried away really, even though I try to keep it very short. But unfortunately, it took me a bit longer. So hence why I'm literally just dropping it now. I think one of the things I hear from one of my key mentors is would they miss you when you're gone? So I think I do get the odd people, one or two people say, "Oh, look, we didn't get the market recap today." So kind of spurs me on to keep doing it. And actually, to be honest, I do enjoy it. So just quickly before I do that, I'm going to share my screen. But before I do that, let me just get the background as white background, and then I'll share it. And hold on a second. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. Yep. Uh, got it here. And let's get the white background on. People prefer the white background, don't they? A solid white background. I think it's easier to read, or it's easier to, when you're streaming on YouTube, so compared to the black one. But anyway, I hope everyone had a good day. I did anyway, and let's see. So like I said in the topic, it's another day of a market bounce, and is the bounce real? That's just something we might have to decipher today. It's a bit slow initially, if I'm allowed to say, because the market started very slow and then, of course, picked up a little bit, gained some steam and some momentum. And, we could still see quite a few, more stocks. They did what they had to do, which is more stocks move. That's what they're known for. It's the momentum, isn't it? But you've got to understand the key thing here, which is interesting actually. And that's why I'm asking if the bounce is real. Look what we've got here. We've got the cues, which you can see I mean, okay, let's put it on a free day. And this is what I was looking at today. So, or yesterday, which I talked about as well. So we do have the inside bar right there. So, markets is still really literally within a range. So if you understand that, then you're good. Otherwise, then you're probably just winging it, really. But overall, again, I think we just had a little movement. To date, the last 5 weeks, the market's been down. I mean, I did sell my Qs last year, towards the end of last year. I went into cash, and somebody said, "How do you know?" I mean, I don't know. Go with the best guess, really. But the Qs are down year to date. But we had a wicked bounce on Friday, 2%, and of course, it continued today, albeit minimally thin volume was traded. So I'm just going to talk about a few things. I mentioned the few, last week, and I said, AI doesn't, as far as I'm concerned, kind of looked a bit like, people pivot away from AI, and that's what I thought I saw. But that was yesterday. Now, we do have quite a few things that might carry the market into the beyond, I guess. We've got a president gunning for the Dow Jones 100K. I think if you look at the Dow Jones, it hits a milestone 50,000 last weekend. Look at that. It's just such beyond that. Look, markets always go up, I guess. One thing is, even as an old timer right here, I don't think we've actually seen a protracted. We haven't seen a protracted. What's the word I'm looking for? We haven't seen a protracted bear market. I think every bear market we had a quick snap bounce. back. So, so again, we are still in the bull range. We're still in a buy the deep economy, and we've got a president who supports it, and that's impressive. Bitcoin last week or Friday, he just retracted, and I said yesterday, I did ask, is this the bounce? Is this the bounce everyone's looking for? And look at that. I mean, you've got to understand, Bitcoin has literally totally been red all year, really. It's just been red, year to date, month to date. There's nothing there. Then we do have the prospective next Fed chairman, Hassett, who's been saying, look, we need we need a rate, sorry, we need a rate cut, if that makes sense. But anyway, that's by the way. So just showing you right there, so as far as I'm concerned, are we back yet? We are still very much trapped within the range. But AI is doing so much in terms of breakdown in everything. If you want to know if we're down, if we're back yet, but one thing you got to look at is this is Bitcoin. Can't really say we're back because look at that. Look at that. That is still that hasn't really, we needed 200 to collapse, and then we can say, yeah, I think we're back. But until then, you've got to be gentle, you've got to be careful. Nothing good happens under the 200. That's Paul Tudor Jones, one of the greatest market wizards out there. Okay, I mean, I'm just going to go over a few of a few of the stocks. Look at this, Cliff. I think I remember we got into Cliff when it was about 9. I mean, I'm mostly a swing trader, and I got out just before 13, and I could see the protracted dump today at 16%. And I took the screenshot, told the guys this is where we take profit. Another one is you can see hymns right there. This was the disaster of the day. I believe they were being sued by Novo Nordisk, and what did he say for making the same? Wegovy pills, and it took a big dump. This is a retail favorite, unfortunately, but the market doesn't care. I'm just going to switch back to the AI in a minute, but if you look at NVO, luckily I was able to leave NVO at 52. Before the dump. I saw the dump here. Doesn't really kind of interest me anymore. There's one I mentioned. I mean, I've got an advantage here. The fact that I could trade the European markets, and at the same time, I could number one, I could trade the European markets. Number two, I could trade American market, and I've got a world of countries I could trade. So there's this one I mentioned. I'm not even sure if it's listed in the US. SGM. I call this the Tesla of Europe. Really, I think when things started happening, when we started having the allies going against each other, with the United States, I thought, okay, sorry, I call it the Nvidia of Europe. So kind of moved a little bit. I think it was about 22. This was an options trade. I called it out in the group, and luckily this has actually been printing very nicely. Again, I still have. I mean, I long. One thing is, well, what does Newton say? You got to keep things will keep going, except it hits something else, which is going to stop it from moving. And that's what you got from deck, really. So I still have my position right here in deck. I keep talking about this one here. I don't think what's the next story? AI again. So, but again, this has been a wonderful play. I've got time on this here. I keep talking about targets. Is it one thing? The reason I'm actually going back to this too is because so if you think the market went heavily, sold off aggressively last week. And what I said was, where are people parking their money? I believe people were parking their money into safety zones. And what are the safety zones? I've been preaching this way before the market sold out, with DEG, the target. But what are the safety zones? Now, look at this, which is something I talked about last week, today. Sorry, I've been talking about this in the group for a while. And this is the first time I'm probably publicly going to talk about it. When it hits 1 trillion, I did talk about this. This has got a stupid valuation. Now, the market is actually valuing this now as a tech, but that's because people are parking their money here. Look, it's safe. That's what people are thinking. But I think the valuation here, I will be very concerned. I'm not shorting it, but if it rolls over, then of course it's going to be a short for me. So that's one thing I'm going to say. Apple as well. I love, love, love the fact of Apple. There's something I said about the dot-com era. We had YouTube. They started a bit late, and then when Yahoo rolled over, and quite a few of these companies, I think Pets.com, for example, rolled over, and then just Google just took all their knowledge and then just moved with it. The same thing happened with Apple. Apple didn't actually commit so much into AI. They just waited and waited. And now the market is mispricing or feel like some of these guys are in the bubble. Then Apple decided, okay, this is the time now. We know where to go. We know what to do. And that's an advantage with Apple. While I'm not exactly trading Apple, but you can see while things were collapsing, it hasn't exactly been a disaster. Now let's look at some of the casualties of AI. Look at Monday.com. It has tried and tried, but eventually, what's the word I'm talking about? The investors just had enough, and look at that just poo-pooed. And look at Monday.com. Monday.com has literally, where is it again? 5 years, half, even this year alone has been cut in half. There's nothing good about Monday.com. And there's something I learned today. If it's going in, I know many people love to bottom fish. If it's going low, guys, you got to stay out. It's just that simple. It's going low, get out. Stop thinking it's gonna turn around. Don't try to be a hero. So look, this hasn't been great today, and I just come out. I mean, sometimes we do have one of the guys who tends to play earnings in the group, and they did ask me. Someone asked me about, is it um MGT? I think it was. It was Zoom Info. I think. I can't remember the new GTN, the new a ticker. And I just said, look, this is just a horrible, horrible play. And we could see how it happened at the earnings. It was just a foul play. Again, I did have some people who were buying Snapchat. So these are all the casualties of AI. And I don't exactly understand how Snapchat became a casualty. But today, what happened? We saw Meta. Meta said they are now what did Meta say again? Meta said they are making their own version. They will start rolling out their own version of Snapchat. And look at that. That's 91% over the last 5 years. Do not try to be a hero. If you be a hero, if you try to bottom fish this, you will just get, you lose your money. It's that simple. That's another one. A lot of times I tend to think as, again, let's look at some of these AI trades. I mean, I like to park my money in safety nets, but what is safe? I don't know this. It's up to you to define safe. But look now is literally just about picking up from 100. And where was it? 239. Duolingo. Somebody said to me today, look, if I'm able to spend half an hour in the market today, I'm sure I'm able to go and I will get everything Duolingo out, what they do. There you go. There's a mean reversion play. Maybe but you've got to wait for the bounce. Wait for the bounce. Don't be a blind hero. What else do we have? I look at quite a few things like that. Anyway, I don't want to list too many tickers just right here. I know I will list some tickers at some point, but also, so again, I mean, speaking of, it's quite funny actually. Speaking of Walmart, here are look at the 1 trillion gang. You can see that right here. So it's getting there, 1 trillion gang. Somebody, I'm just going to talk about one of these things as well. So this is a 1 trillion gang. So you can see Walmart recently just joined. Amazing, impressive. Now, somebody asked me, said, oh, Tesla, and we probably should look at Hood as well, said, oh, this person bought Tesla, what such a big, big average price. And I think it was about 430. And I said, why are you buying Tesla? And she said, because it always goes up. Look, you do not understand price action. That's a horrible, horrible reason to say you're buying a stock because it always goes up. The fundamentals are not as great at all. And even if you have a look at Tesla over the last 5 years, 45% at best. So you can tell it's kind of getting weak towards the top. But that's again, I always say I do not fall in love with any stock, but it's up to you. We also have yeah, I wanted to again quickly look at Palantir and Palantir. There you go. So again, Palantir is just showing some weakness, but you can see it's right there within that range. So again, Palantir has been amazing, but can it continue throughout the end of the year? I don't know this time. This is 2026. This is February. We'll see how it plays out. But anyway, tomorrow we do have some earnings. Um, what do we have? I think there's one we have right before market opens tomorrow. Speaking of people parking money, I've been looking at Coca-Cola as well. I think Coca-Cola will roll over at some point very, very soon. I've set a shot actually on this one here at Pepsi. Coca-Cola is not meant to be played the way it's been playing. That's just a personal opinion. Likewise, Pepsi. So once it rolls over, we shall see. Um, so quite a few earnings tomorrow. Looking at one or two Met space, especially before markets. Am I really looking to go long or go short? Again, that's just a personal opinion. I think this is literally no matter what happens. If it gets a bounce, I'm going to shut the pot. That's just literally the way I'm playing this earnings. But other than that, I mean, for the last 5 years, it's been an amazing play though. But anyway, that's just me for today. I decided to just pull something together because I don't want to leave without dropping this episode tonight. But until then, guys, I hope you have a great night. We shall see tomorrow. And yeah, God bless everyone. Take care. Bye bye.